are the purest. It's over. These are the purest. It's over.
Alright everybody, good evening and welcome into the Gopherwatch League Week 5.5, or Season 5.5, Week 2 matchup here between the Iceland Imps and the Pokhara Pusheens. I'll be your caster as of that moment, Booney. Perhaps we'll have a color caster join me at some other point in the stream. He's gone a little bit AWOL, but that's no real problem as of right now. We're going in to this match here, both teams going 1-1, or both teams winning their first match of the season. The Imps taking a dominant 3-0 victory over the Awesome Anglers and the Pusheens, and I believe a 5-match slugfest with the Welsh Whales taking home that win. So both teams looking strong here, looking to solidify themselves. If you get this second win here going 2-0, you're setting yourself pretty darn good for the final playoffs towards the end of the season with such a short regular season. This could be basically you're punching your ticket in already in week 2. So I have to see exactly what is going on. Of course, if you are new to the stream, you can give us a follow, join the Discord as well, and stay tuned for more Gopherwatch League action. Check out the YouTube for all the new content. You can check out the new podcast that got released, as well as Booney ESPN. So make sure to check out the YouTube and the new content if you haven't done so already, and subscribe. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So we go into Ilios here for our first map, and you gotta be honest here. I gotta probably suspect the Imps are gonna look pretty good on this map. They do have the long-range hit scan kind of capabilities in Invictus, playing the Widowmaker and Ash, as well as Trey on the tank can play the ball and monkey to a high level. But you also can never really count out the Mikey DPS, especially if it goes Echo or perhaps Farah on this point of Ilios. Can get a lot done and plays pretty darn well into a brawly style on most of the points, aside from well, and which is where the Pusheens looked very good last week, very strong against the Welsh Whales. So we'll have to see what we're gonna go here. Both teams are just sitting menacingly staring at each other. We got an R in the chat, so I kind of hopped on, think we were gonna get some movement here, but it doesn't look like it, as Invictus has gone a bit AWOL. He's gone as well. So apparently he's been found by BBQ and taken away. That was supposed to be my other caster, so I suppose we can set over to a quick break, and once we go into Ilios, we'll bring you guys right back here to the action. So stay tuned for more Gopherwatch League on the other side of this break. Stay tuned. By the way, have I mentioned how much I despise Streamlabs for keeping a roaming folder, so when you update an image of the same name, it keeps the old one? Smile. Back to the break. All right, we've been joined by the illustrious Coach RohR. Will be joining us for our first map here. As we move on to Ilios, which we said earlier, we're going to be starting off on Lighthouse. And RohR, I mean, a lot of, you're the big coach in this round, these parts, so what do you expect to see in this first map here of Ilios?
I'm actually really interested to see what we're going to see as a complete non-answer. A lot of teams like to run things like 6-man, or they can do like pretty aggro dives, or we've even seen some brawl where people just like turtle up on point, but I'm not exactly sure how either team wants to play this. There's just so many options, and both teams have a lot of really flexible players here. that it's hard to say which one they'll veer to, but you know, knowing the Pusheens and Purple Jesus has been practicing that ball character a lot lately, we see he's already selecting that, so excited to see this ball echo comp from them.
And yeah, kind of plays good into this 6-man comp that we're going to see here from the Iceland Imps. The teams are flipped on my set, so apologize, I'll flip that next game. But as we see here, they're going in cage control here for the Iceland Imps, but Purple just going to swing right through, get a big slam on 4 of them, and a nice anti follow-up there on the Nash Browns. Going to stop this push a little bit for the 6-man competition, looking to group up the loose Nash Browns and mech already, as Nathan's going to probably pick on an Invictus. So that's a lot of follow-up damage already gone for this composition, and I think the Iceland Imps are probably going to have to pack up and go home here in this first fight. A very good engage from Purple Jesus, as well as anti follow-up by Nuttier.
Yeah, we saw there that Bard, or I guess that would be Trey and Invictus, tried to go really hard on the Ana, but Nuttier was just too far back. They weren't able to get the kill, and they ended up getting traded out. And then, you know, if you don't get the kill early, you're just gonna die very slowly. But they swapped the comp here a little bit. It looks like they're trying to mirror a little more with the ball.
Yeah, they're going to mirror. They're going to put Invictus on that long-range scan of the Cassie as well. Try to put Mikey out of the sky. Yeah, Mikey already has a duplicate. Put so much work in that last fight. Purple Jesus comes in with the slam in the back line. But Mikey just being a nuisance. However, they do find Varaldane. So taking them out early. And there you go. 2 more easy picks come off the back of this. Engage from Trey. And it looks like the Imps have flipped over real fast. No, real answer for just that aggro aggression from Fedora Master on the Torbjorn. Go for a hammer kill there. Does get one over Bro.
Yeah, that turret up there. Fedora just sets the turret up at the top, helps assist him in getting 2 kills there, and just nobody shot at it. It's so much consistent damage, like you wouldn't expect it. But I think the ults here are looking pretty good for the Pusheens come in, and I'll have to see how good they get the slam or the nano or the copy. You know what their game plan is if they can get on that back line of Meow and War here.
Yeah, Meow get that help from the Brigida. However, here comes a nano boost. Ana Pro just and the Echo's going to duplicate actually the Ana here, so we're getting maybe another nano on the field here as Mikey gets 2 kills and the sleep on the Nash Browns. Mikey is showing off the support gameplay, but Invictus comes in and kills 2, and then a boop from Bark is going to send him off the edge of the map. So Bark is still there as well as the Molten Core on the point, so it's a very even fight. Now, but Pro just lays on the minefield and stops the contest with the tanks. A well-placed minefield there. Rogue with the bomb as well, so nobody's touching this point right now. Bark has 26 HP but gets the kill on Purple Jesus. So still avoidable fight here for the Imps as they're going to use the mines themselves there, and Nash Brown's going to, or Marble's going to get kind of stuck between those, and the boop from Bark might get one off the point. I'm not quite sure. Fedora Master's turret will get Mikey a bit of revenge, or I know probably Fedora's molding a little bit. They have an Echo, but he does get the value on the Torbjorn anyway.
That dupe was just so unfortunate. You know, they get 1 or 2 picks, but it just wasn't clean enough. Ana, maybe not the best hero for, you know, snowballing a fight with an ultimate, but, you know, they did get the picks. They did get the flip, so, you know, at least they're not having to work with a huge time bank here.
Not gonna have to work in. Trey going a little aggressive there, goes for the slam. We'll get 2 up into the air, and only the Valkyrie here to use for the side of the Pusheens. Might be difficult to break this high ground control right now, showed by the Imps as Trey goes in again for another slam. The slip from Meow, not going to quite find anything. Micah going to get a nice big sticky mines onto the core, but they're going to heal right up and Meow close to another nano boost already. The bomb on the point from Nash Browns finds Purple Jesus. Gets caught out of position there. Now the play around the corner, and the boop from Nash Browns gets Nuttier out the point, and Bark knocks Ribro as well. So there you have it. Last fight territory here, but the Imps looking strong. No ults needed for that fight.
Yeah, and they've got 3 ultimates here online, almost the rally as well. It's going to be super hard to break this hold for the Pusheens.
And here comes Purple Jesus might not be able to touch just at last second. The boot from War just not good enough. The slam comes in. Gonna take his mines out the field, but Invictus has already found one, and Mikey, they're gonna get the res. So Mikey might be able to duplicate and possibly bring his fight back. But a nice flash from Invictus around the pillars, gonna take down the Reaper, and that consistent damage on the point. It's gonna be very hard to break Trey and Nash Brown's off this point. Mikey gets a duplicate, but it's on the Diva. Will he be able to build the bomb in time? No, he's not. Look like it 40% and counting, but out of the mech already. And gonna get flashed by Invictus, and this is gonna be the end of that one. Purple Juice comes in for the stagger, but at the end of the day, the Imps are gonna take this point. Good adaptation from them after their first disastrous fight.
Yeah, the Imps really did a spectacular job of countering that dive. We saw the swaps come in almost immediately, and that turret just, I don't think it died once. I think it lasted every fight, poked Mikey out, made it super hard for him to dive the already difficult, like, counter dive comp, and you know, the Imps just really showing that they have what it takes to make adaptations on the fly after that first fight and know how to play it really well, stacking their backline, making it as hard as possible for Purple Jesus, Mikey, and Nathan to get the dive that they actually need in order to win these fights here. At least they force trades to happen and draw out the fight and make it really long, so that they can turn it back in the long term.
And yeah, that would have been kind of the point that I would have favored the Pusheens on here. Now we're going into the more long-range hit scan kind of compositions of the Iceland Imps. Are going to have Invictus on that pocket of Ash, and this Ash could get a lot of value. Not actually pocket it, never mind, they have a Brigida, so they're not going to pocket the Invictus Ash. Just go instead for the consistent dynamite damage through small chokes that well contains. But Purge's going to go right forward and get that hook on Nash Brown's asleep to follow up, but Nash Brown's very happy, very healthy. Meow building up towards that nano, but Mike is going to find that kill. Both Oz are trade out here. Purple Jesus can't find the kill. Barker's in the back line, killing the entire team, but Purple Jesus just holding the space right now. Both teams looking to find an advantage, and there it is, the hook on Nash Browns, but Mikey has already fallen. I think the Imps have a slight advantage here, as Barker is going ballistic on this Wrecking Ball in the back line.
Yeah, I think the Pusheens are, you know, they're going to eventually lose this, and they might have a difficult time retaking here with that Pharah. You know, notoriously on control maps, hard to retake on Pharah unless you have something like a nano boost and barrage to like, get in there, get a clean fight win and clear it up. But with the turret and Invictus here poking Mikey out, I think it's going to be difficult for him to get far enough to get the work done to actually capture the point.
Mark looking for a minefield perhaps on the engage here from the Pusheens. Going to lay it right down on top of Nutier's head, but they're able to get out. And they are a bit split right now. However, Bark falling very weak, forced to use those armors to get out, but Invictus already found Viraldane on the back. Invictus finds the pharmacy by themselves. Does not need the pocket, it seems, as you only hit the headshots, does not matter. And that pharmacy cleared. The Pusheens are forced to pack it yet again. And again, a very clean fight. Only the minefield had to be invested.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Pusheens go for a comp swap here, just because, you know, it seems like the Imps comp is a little more vulnerable to like getting rushed down or, you know, at least like brawling or poking back into. But they've made some swaps here, Mikey on the Genji and Viraldane on that Moira. So it looks like they're going to get a little more brawly, and hopefully they're able to, you know, either punish like Nash Browns for being forward or walk at that back line that's just been sitting there for almost for free because Invictus has kept them so safe.
I mean, this Torp turret is still alive. It's just pulling out so much damage. Cannot do anything. They do nano the hamster in the back line. Does get stunned up quite a bit though, so Trey forced to retreat. Does keep his life, but it's just being a nuisance in the back line with another slam. But Purchase already found Meow by just walking to point menacingly. Ribro with the Griddick Flux. Listen for the air. Oh, and War using that rally can't get the armor value as he dies instantly in the cast. A lot of ults are invested from both teams, but it looks like the Imps are going to be forced backwards as the Pusheens have finally broken the chokehold they had.
Yeah, a little bit of trigger happiness, lack of discipline on the Imps there, using that rally and bomb and bob. Those are ults you'd really love to have on the retake here, but they did force 3 ults out from the Pusheens. That said, we'll have to see how much the Molten Core can do. Maybe they can zone the point or cage here and get a lot of space to push in.
And that's a really nice open hook on Purple Jesus there onto War or onto Trey. Able to punish that ball for its aggression. They caught Mikey out playing him a little bit as bait. And then once he goes for a slam, the hook is there to follow up. So the Imps had to place against slow with no real engage tools. And a nice rock from Ribro on an Ash Browns as Mikey's building up this blade, but I don't think he has to use it anytime soon here.
Yeah, a bit of a trip up there, losing Bark early on. Here's the blade.
The naked blade gets both supports, and the Molten Core gets no value. It kind of slips off from cages, but they just run away and take the points. And there's really nothing they can do. Mikey will eventually fall to Invictus, but it's already far too gone here, as now it's just a sad Swedish man trying to take the whole army on in the front lines. It's not going to cork out. And at 70% or 60% and counting, the ults are building up here for the Pusheens.
Yeah, that was so good for them too, only investing that blade. They're coming up on 5 now and just rallying in here.
Yeah, they get the open hook on Ash Browns and get him out of that mech. They force Trey to use those mines to try to protect his off tank, but it's not going to work out. They have no mech, and here comes the Flux from Ribro, but gets stunned out. I believe got flashbanged as he's a little too close to the door, but it doesn't matter. Bark has already fallen, and they still have no mech. A nice hook from Purple Jesus. The bash from War hits the wrong person there. The fat body of the Roadhog dodging that shield bash. And they still don't have a mech, and they're going to lose War here. This is a devastating staggered fight. Trey swaps to the Hawk in desperation.
I'd love to see the Pusheens push up here, start punishing some of the people they have to touch here. Otherwise, they just lose this round. And big hook almost.
Yeah, a big hook, but Fedora Master already falls to Purple Jesus. He's hogging in the back line. Purple Jesus is going hog champ, and Nathan follows up with a high noon as well. A big anti from Meow stops that healing from the Colossus, but it's not enough as they just body block him off the point. Another great adaptation from the winning team on the map here for the Pusheens.
Yeah, both of these teams going back and forth like rock, paper, scissors, basically, figuring out, okay, what's the other team doing and making the adaptations, like you said, to win the round, change their play style, punish the weaknesses of the other team, and, just really so far a spectacularly high quality match in the Gopherwatch League right now. These are some things that you see a lot of really high level teams struggle with, and both of these teams are doing it pretty seamlessly. Maybe a little bit late there on the Pusheens on that one, but they still brought the map home here, and we're on the Widow map, so we have Invictus on the Widow. We'll have to see how that goes.
I mean, we have the Widow map, but we also have the Mikey Genji shutting down the Widow map. How does that sound? Yeah. So it's good to Fedora Master on the tour to put out that consistent damage to keep this point in their favor. But Purges is going aggressive on that Mega Control. They know that the 5v6 advantage here as they take this fight pretty aggressive. Oh, but Nuttier almost gets taken down by a headshot, but Varaldin is there with the shield protecting that flex support player. Mikey already 50% to a blade, but very low, gonna fall down. So without that Genji, there's now a 5v5 here at the Widow in the back. But Invictus is finally gonna kill, gets that headshot onto the pesky Brigida, and we're gonna have the Pusheens getting sent packing as the Imps have claimed their first control.
Yeah, so unfortunate there. We saw Mikey opting for the Brawly style Genji, just ignore the Widow, and he got a lot of ult charge out of it, but ended up getting punished for it, unfortunately. But on the defense here, it's going to be really difficult to deal with that Widow. We already see Mikey go down in the spawn practically, and getting to Invictus is going to be a very difficult task for Purple Jesus and Mikey and Ribro to figure out.
It is, and Fedora Master already has the Molten Core, so his points could be able to be held for a long time, but the staggers are coming in here. I mean, this is not the best look here for the Pusheens right now, as there's getting pick after pick. The DPS, there we go. Invictus finally getting pressured out by Purple Jesus, but Purple Jesus falling very weak as the peel is there for Invictus, staying alive. And I mean, Purple Jesus is trying his best here to try to kill the Widowmaker, but Invictus got the moves on. He's wearing Air Jordans today, cannot be hit. Yeah, and finally Purple Jesus goes down,
providing so much, abstract space there for his team to walk in. But will it be worth it?
The Nano Blade is countered by the Beat and the Molten Core, so Mikey can't get anything done as Invictus gets another pick here on Nathan. Invictus coming up huge on this Widowmaker. Had a slow start, but finally heating up here. And there we go. The final kills are coming through. We got to see a reset from the Pusheens. They cannot fight us anymore.
Yeah, a little more lost on this map for sure, but they had some tough choices to make. When the Widow zone, are you trying to walk in as 5 right then, or are you gonna regroup for a sec, or your ball gets forced out? Like, what do you even do there? But they decide to invest the Nano Blade, or at least the blade there, and it just doesn't pay off. But they're in a uphill battle here against the ultimates of the Imps. I think we can expect Trey to come in with a pretty aggressive minefield to stop maybe even a touch from happening, although Purple Jesus is in the back right now.
Yeah, Purple Jesus is in the back, but here comes an early close from Meow as they're going to engage with the minefield and the cold, not allow them to touch. It looks like Purple Jesus gets that touch at the end, but Varaldin has already fallen, and with 2 going, the waiver of the Imps here. I mean, Mikey finally kills Invictus, but oh, there we go. Meow getting a bit of the calisthenics in, a bit of a crouch fest. Here comes Nathan with the high noon, finds 2! Perhaps winnable here as Bark is flying very low. Rubro is there, and now this could be a turbo fight here, but they do lose the mech. But Varaldin is back on the Brigida, could perhaps bring it back in favor of the team, but is very desperate here as Bark has returned on that Wrecking Ball, but the Moira healing is on the point, and they get the flip, and somehow the clutch from Nathan comes up huge.
Absolutely massive there. Nobody could have foreseen it or expected it, but they have a crazy battle going forward into the Molten Core, and Nuttier already goes down to Invictus.
Yeah, I mean, the big clutch was a great highlight, but I don't think it's going to be really important here as the nice Molten Core from Fedora Master stops the dive in from Purple Jesus, and the minefield again from Trey is there. So yeah, unless Nathan's got a six-man up his sleeve, we're probably going to see the Imps take this first map here. As, I mean, Fedora Master taking a 1v1 with the Reaper guy in a close quarters combat, probably not going to work out for him. I mean, it's working, I guess. Nathan can't touch the point. The Torbjorn is just holding them back. And there you have it. The Imps are going to take our first map of Ilios.
Some say that Torb is a little bit of a, Reaper guy himself, like a miniature Reaper guy. He's got the right-click shotgun, very similar to the Reaper guy's shotgun. I'm just saying, he might not be able to teleport in the backline, but he's still pretty close.
I mean, he kind of does teleport around the battlefield, especially if you're Fedora Master. He kind of shows up in your background with his hammer out, ready to strike. You never know when he's going to be there, so... taking a bit of the Reaper into his own play there.
Yeah, tunnels under the ground, just pops out.
Yeah, there you have it. The Iceland Imps are going to take our first map, but after this break, we are going to see our hybrid map. I guess it's going to be King's Row, but you never really know. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
These beats are the purest. Love it.
Alright everybody, welcome back to the Pusheens and the Imps game. We are going, of course, to King's Row. Would it be any other way with PJ on the other side? But RohR, we saw a pretty dominant showing on the Imps on the 6-man kind of style composition. Do you think that it's going to carry over to their brawl?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have the players for a strong brawl. Trey has a pretty strong Reinhardt. They have Invictus with the Cassidy, and the Torb cast brawl is like, it's not bad. If you can draw out the fight long enough, you can make it work. You just got to be careful of the Mei walls. I think they have the players to make it work. And I think this is probably the Pusheens' only chance here. Not only chance, but, that last time just showed how good of a counter dive that the Imps really have. And it seems like a very difficult problem. So it makes sense we're here at King's Row. Take them to the brawl, the one and only, the OG brawl map, and, see if they're down to hang.
The Pusheens have to somehow win a series by only winning King's Row multiple times. It's never been done before, but they're going to pull it off. We're going to go here onto the brawl. Mikey's going to switch over to the Hanzo character. probably trying to deal with that torture perhaps from a longer distance, but they're going to walk at him as Mikey's still swapping. Purple G's flying very low, and Brawly's going to go down. So a great start there. Bark plays super aggressive against Reinhardt. Purple G's gets flashed and taken down. A great start for the Imps on this Brawl comp. 80% to the shatter for Trey already, going so aggressive in the doors.
Yeah, incredible fire strike there. You know, losing the BAP first basically guarantees that, you know, the Imps are able to go and clean up, get that ult advantage, and now it's going to be a pretty difficult defense that the Pusheens are going to have to fight through here.
They're going to have to go through this. Purple Jesus suspect the shatter already from Trey. Could perhaps be a bit of main tank difference coming up here, but Bark lays it down, and Nutter's down already with the Lucio gone. There's no retreat from the Cassie on the flank as Invictus comes through the hotel and gets that flash ban. And yeah, this is a stagger here and a Mikey, and finally going down the mercy kill. But the ult's starting to build up here for the Pusheens, but the Imps have some as well, so they gotta find something here. Trey's doing so well.
And having Invictus on that flank, I think, is going to be a real thorn in the side of the Pusheens. No one really to deal with him precisely. No Diva, but you have Nathan on the Cass and Mikey on the Hanzo. They're going to have to figure out between the two of them.
Oh, the window fire strike is so clean from Trey. And, well, Sin, Zeus, or not Sin, I mean, what is his alter accounts? There's Zeus and there's Meow.
Sly?
Oh yeah, Sly is what I'm
Sly
thinking
is the
of.
current name, yep.
Alright, yep, clean play from them as expected. They win.
Yeah, that
wow.
coordination between Trey and Sly, you know, really used to playing with each other. Precise precision timing, and they go for a flank through Hotel.
And he's gonna get a slam on a Nuttier that there's no retreat again for this Raw composition. The Lucio is just getting picked off early here. And, I mean, just look at the damage between Purple Jesus and Trey right now. Trey is 3,000 damage more than him, and has already lapped him in a shatter. So Purple Jesus got to make this one count here with 1 minute basically in the bank remaining.
Yeah, the Pusheens barely getting able to walk through the choke. It just seems like the Imps are just out-tempoing them, making these plays on every defense, every fight. They have something going on, and they're backing up here, which seems kind of weird.
That was a really nice window flame strike there as well. Proteus makes the shatter count, gets Turbatron. Fedora Master will find the kill, so not just yet, but the picks are coming here in favor of the Pusheens, and they still have that Grab Dragon combo, so we could see a bit of a snowball on point B. Unless Invictus and Fedora Master can clutch it up here, Fedora Master is going to pick Invictus in the flank. It's not done just as yet. We already called it over, but they get 2 ticks. But Invictus flying very weak, but somebody already took his health pack from him. He can't take it. But they have the reinforce coming in as Fedora Master is holding down the point by himself. Fedora Master is going ballistic on the Torbjorn.
Unstoppable. He gets the hammer kill too on Ribro. I mean, just being able to live there. You got a Torb on one side and a turret, and then you have Invictus on the cast on the other. What do you even do stuck between that sandwich?
There's just pray to whatever deity you believe in for that your afterlife would be blessing, because that guy is coming at you that's hammered out. You stand 0 chance. So the Grab Dragon might have to be invested in your Travatron, only 8% to that beat. So this could be the change they're looking for. It gets them all grouped up on the corner. Here comes the grab on that dragon, but the field is there, and Fitness is gonna get 2 picks. They will eventually find Nash Bros with the dragon, but that's not nearly enough as the window has been thrown down by Meow in the back. And they're going to pelt them down through it. They just couldn't kill the Immortality fast enough. Mikey is there, but the turret is there as well. And the Imps are going to not even give up point A. And the Shatter is there from Trey to send Nuttier back to spawn.
Such a good hold there from the Imps. They had the counter grab, the Torbolt, they had the window, they had the high noon, they had everything for that Grab Dragon, and the Pusheens just not able to break that immortality. You got to be part of your game plan when you're against the Baptiste. Who's going to break it? Who's going to off angle? Who's going to push in? Take that risk so that ultimately you win that team fight. But I think the Imps played that really well. They knew what they could do. They kited a little bit as soon as that grab came out, the people who weren't in it, and then they just went straight for the window. It was sick.
And you can see the aggression from Trey in his stats right there. 23 elims to PJ's 5. Just throwing out the hammers and just swinging in the back line, playing super aggressive at the chokes, exactly what you want to see. And now, I don't suspect we're going to see a divey composition, but they are still in spawn, so I'll give them a bit of a slack. I think Trey might be going for that monkey jump swap to Ryan strategy here. But yeah, Mikey's gonna go over to that May to maybe try to stop this tempo a little bit here from the Imps, but it's gonna be a pretty difficult to hold point A at King's Row. Not something we see very often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that Hanzo pick in the last, in their attack might have bitten them a little bit, because on the Imps they had the Torb. And while you think of Hanzo and Torb, yeah, they're both like pokey heroes. The Torb, again, he's got the shotguns. He could be a Reaper guy and enable that fast tempo that we're seeing out of the Imps from that defense here. We'll have to see if they continue that tempo in this attack, but Invictus going for some pot shots here out of spawn. We'll have to see if he's going to swap, or, after he gets a kill, maybe he'll swap.
Well, he's sticking with it. So here comes Pix or all swap from Invictus going through that hotel, see if he can't get that off angle as Trey just charges in. Knocks Pearl Juice down to the ground. I mean, Trey finally gets punished for that over-aggression, but Invictus has that sightline through Hotel. Nuttier live the kill feed a little bit by taking down the turret as well. And forced retreat is the Iceland Imps. They don't want to waste any time here in the choke.
This is so essential for the Pusheens. Getting this early head start on the alt farm for virtually nothing, practically handed to them. And, with that May, they might be able to come up with some aggressive plays here on the defense. They just need to make sure to keep their heads on and make sure not to go out of their way chasing kills and getting picked. Just living, just farming those ultimates, keeping it cool here.
And yeah, Mikey makes that
far back.
All right, Invictus makes that swap over to the Cassie, but here comes an early window already from Meow. However, it is shut down by the May wall. And here comes a reverse counter wall from Vraldane. They're going to swap trades here as it's a 3-for-2 in favor of the Imps, as Fedora Master is just chucking in those lobs down main, and the window is there, but the Blizzard is out from Mikey plus Doobie. No follow-up as everybody's already dead. Fedora Master has seen to it. And a great showing from the Torbjorn here on King's Row, and the Shatter is going to find nothing from Purple Jesus. And we're gonna have a 2-0 favor here for the Imps, especially this Molten Core laying down the choke. The Imps being very aggressive and looking great on this brawl.
Yeah, and weirdly they were kind of handed that. They given all that space, they get the window right on point, and Purple Jesus can't live there. Even with the wall there, he gets taken out by the Torb turret. And the Imps are showing they really know how they want to play each comp. They're keeping the tempo up. Even in that first fight when they give a little bit of ult charge, they just followed up, say, okay, well, we were on Widow, doesn't count. They swap to the cast and they just run it right in.
Yeah, sadly Invictus had to keep his word. No picks, and I'll swap. He had to do that. Unfortunate. But I also want to point out that we have the Pusheens greater than Imps as a lobby name, and we're not seeing that as of right now. So perhaps we'll get a flip around on this next point, on this next map. We will have to see. It is going to be Havana, so I don't think we actually go to a map break, considering we're already ready to go on Havana. So why do you think we see the Havana pick here, RohR? What are you suspecting that we have cooking up in the back of the Pusheens' minds here?
I think they must be thinking, I'm not 100% sure, and I hope this doesn't, come off as some kind of slander, but I think they're thinking the double shield, double sniper maybe, something along that, get Mikey on the Hanzo, get Purple Jesus on his notorious Orisa, you get in there, you live longer, you can deal with the Torb turret easy, you just have to have that confidence going against Invictus, on his Ashe, on his Widow, on his Hanzo, and, I think they're thinking, try and take this other angle. They've tried dive, doesn't work into the counter dive. They've tried brawl. Wasn't the prettiest thing that we just saw there. And if we go through the list of comps, this is naturally the next one up.
We go to a fourth map. We'll have to expand that list a little more. We'll have to see the bullet points inside of. Well, we played the dive comp, but what if we played the ball Zarya comp? So we'll have to see some weird stuff.
The classic ball Zarya.
Oh, the hamster ball comp. You could call it that because he gets a little bubble around him. Yeah, you could call it the hamster ball.
Yeah, I saw someone call it. I can't remember the name, but I'll have to think about that one later. It's just such a weird composition. But yeah, you get your hamster and his little hamster ball. He goes for a run, in the enemy's backline, and hopefully he also gets to run back.
It's good to get your hamster some exercise. If you own a hamster or a small rodent, please let him out.
Any pet for that matter,
Turtles. Got a counterpoint for the turtle? I don't think the turtle needs that much work on him.
That's true. I think for turtles, like breathing maybe counts as, you know, enough. They seem every time I see them, they're just kind of hanging out. You know, they're not like doing anything in particular.
Well, I mean, they're doing something. They're existing. They're doing the classic like college kid after finals moment. But aside from our depressing stories of life there, Rory, we're gonna go right in here onto Nirvana. We're gonna start off with the Pusheens on the attack, and we are gonna see the God Risa. And you know what? They're in spawn, but they ain't gonna swap off this. I think the God Risa's coming out to play finally.
Yeah, we see them all in the spawn, looking out that window, just trying to tell: are they holding close? Is it a close brawl? Can we play? Can we play our double shield comp, please?
This is our ace up our sleeve. We've saved it for map 3 specifically to start the reverse sweep. That's obviously what they've been planning here, but it's just going to be the Invictus on this Widowmaker. Can Invictus get that value that he's getting onto Ruins on Ilios? Let's find those early headshots on potentially the supports of this double shield composition, because you know the tanks are kind of hard to headshot in this composition. There's a nasty amount of shields, perhaps actually 2 you could say. It's kind of in the name. But Mike is going to go over to that Genji, perhaps looking to shut down this Widowmaker early.
Yeah, and we love to see that, you know, the double shield Genji classic, that pull dash combo. See if it comes in clutch here and denying the snipers. And
I mean, Invictus just staring down, has a great silent right now. They don't know where he is, but now they finally are alert to position, so supports are playing cart very intelligently here. Not looking to get headshot, but Mikey's going to start to go aggressive here on this Genji. It looks like they're kind of pushing the comp of the Imps back right now, as the Imps really have no answer to just this amount of shielding in front of them, and Invictus is going to go down. Mikey finally making up for that Ruins play and going to shut down this Widowmaker with that Genji, and they're getting so much free space right now for free.
yeah, I love that Zenyatta pick too. A lot of people don't like consciously think about it, but that Discord is so powerful. You know, if it gets on the hog, it, you know, makes it so difficult for him to like really hold any space. As soon as he gets discorded, he has to be very careful, and we saw it come into play when Mikey went onto the Widow, just instantly taken out in combination with that Zenyatta.
Oh, Bark is going to find Mikey as the 2v1 was occurring in the up top there, and they're going to win, and Bark's going to get both of them. The 2v1 is successful here for the RohR. It's going to get another hook on a Nathan.
Oh my.
Okay, bit of a hog diff coming in here, bit of a squeeze in the hog moment, and I mean, a great start to the point B defense here after a point A mishap.
Yeah, Trey making it look like Hog's playground. 2 shields on the Pusheens side, but neither of them pointed at his hooks.
2 shields, no answers. I'm pretty sure there's a rap song by Jay-Z about that, but as we move out here, gonna look to potentially go up the stairs, like that high ground positioning. They know Trey just sitting there menacingly, so they're gonna start moving around, look for this rotate here for the double shield, but Trey's gonna be there to meet him, get that big hook, as well as the anti-nade, but here comes that supercharger out from Purple Jesus, looking to potentially punish Bark here, as Bark uses that whole hog and the nano, but just dies instantly. We have the visor as well from Nathan through main, but not gonna get any kills, but is gonna zone them out. And here comes the kills. The Pusheens pushing up very aggressively here, as they've got 2 stuck in the low ground here. They need to reset. They cannot get staggered out here, but they are eventually going to go down.
Yep, and Einstein's second law of thermodynamics has come into play. For every double shield, there is an equal and opposite double shield reaction. We've got Bark on the Orisa now.
Oh, goodness gracious. What is happening to my league? The double shield abusers are coming out to play, but we have both Fluxes ready to go here for both sides. Ribro might be looking to stuff him in this choke, looking to lift him up in the air. We'll get a bunch of them. The Immortality Field is there, but the damage has been dealt as Bark has fallen. Here comes the Flux out from Nashbrones. You're not going to find anything as that Transcendence comes out from Nuttier at just the right time, and here comes the Staggers from the Pusheens onto the Imps, and there you have it, a 5-minute time bank here from Havana. This is why you go to Havana and you let the God Risa come out to play.
That's just what you want to see. Now they can snowball it up, take a lot of this open space on third, and you know, even though it cost them a pretty penny, it's definitely going to be worth it. You don't want to be stuck at that second point, and this third choke is so hard to break. They're gonna need that extra time, is my expectation here.
And plus the thing is, you use the ultimates, but the point C, really, there's only one fight that happens on this point, and it's just choke right here where the Imps right are. So you can build his ults with this poke fight going on right now, and potentially have him ready for the next fight already. But a big pull from Bark is going to take Ripper out of the fight, but they're going to counter with a window here, and they're going to find Nashbro, so both Sigmas going down. Mikey gets out with that deflect as well. Bark forced to retreat there from that window in a weird position right now, nowhere near his team. The DPS are nowhere they are, and here they come! They get the horse under the bridge. And, I mean, the Bob comes on a point, but the Discord is there. They're going to melt them immediately. So the ult is now wasted from Invictus.
What a goofy fight there. A lot of people dropping under the bridge, and the blade out from Mikey.
Finds one, finds two with that supercharger to help it back it up. Fedora goes down, the dash is there. And here comes the window out from Meow, but it's not going to be nearly as Mikey is going ballistic right now in the back line. The dash resets are there. And another supercharger out from Purple Jesus. And there you have a 3-minute, 43-second time bank on Havana. That is impressive.
Absolutely. They were able to snowball it with the ults there, and ballistic, just the right word for that Genji play. You know, they say his shurikens are projectiles, but he was looking like a projectile there, the way he was dashing around all around the map, flying at the speed of sound. Incredible. They were able to get that cap and this huge time bank, and just even capping this point is a huge point for them. It wouldn't be surprising if their morale's looking up, and you know, we're gonna have to see how the Imps take this attack. And they're gonna actually have to look at the defense here of Pusheens, because they can choose to hold close here, and that's one of the things with Havana that's unlike any other map, is the defending team can kind of set the pace of the attackers. If they choose to hold close, it forces the attackers into, you know, an option of dealing with it and playing the map in a non-standard way, and you know, it forces these swaps and this different play style that, you know, you can sort of abuse to be able to, you know, dictate the pace. That said, it looks like they're pretty confident. They're just coming out in their double shield, you know, why fix it if it ain't broke sort of attitude.
I mean, at this point, it's win one fight and you'll have a better time bank. So they just gotta build those ultimates and potentially go for a win. But like I want to say, on point C especially, like you said, it's gonna be hard to cap it. But walking to the Invictus long-range hit scam, the fact that you're able to do that so effortlessly was very impressive. We'll have to see what we're going to have in the start of the Imps for the attack. It looks like the Hog is going to be the way to go, as Trey's going to try to be a little silly in the back line, looking for some opening hooks on his double shield composition. Looks for the hook, not going to quite find one just as of yet, but control on the corner is there from the shielding of the tanks from the Pusheens. I mean, they're poking, playing this game. Trey can't quite land these hooks. They're just playing at just the right distance to stay out of that max hook range. The Discord is applied to the Hog, forced to retreat a little bit here, as we have the Pusheens given a bit of space, but they're prepared to take this fight.
Yeah, Pusheens playing it really slow here, just forcing one cooldown at a time out of the Imps, and hook from Bark there.
Yeah, not going to find anything, as Bro Jesus just able to walk away and Fedor's immortality charge, or from all charge to the window. They but do find Nutter eventually, so both sports are going down, and there you have it. The long poking kind of fight goes in favor of the Imps, with Invictus and Fedora Master on those spamming characters, getting that damage to the backline and letting those supports finally go down.
Yeah, I was surprised that, you know, despite having half the number of shields, that the Imps were able to survive sort of out in the open with continuous pressure that whole time. Not sure, it could be something with the Soldier Genji, you know, not really having that burst damage, securing the kills without the Genji dashing in or hitting a clean Helix rocket, but, you know, fight went on long enough. They got the nano and were able to snowball it off of that. And that said, some big ults coming up for the Pusheens here.
A huge hook and anti-nade on the RohR right there. Forced to, they give the high ground for free here, but Pro Jesus has a supercharger, so the fight's not done just as of yet. They're going to trade there, and the supercharger coming in quite handy here as an extra damage has allowed them to get 2 picks, and they finally kind of stabilize here on the defense. As you can see there, I mean, Bark is playing this Hog style where he's not going for the pick, but just being a nuisance, just being a presence to distract the tanks, it looks like it seems. He's not getting, the, you know, light of the kill feed, I should say. But he's just there. He's existing.
Awesome hook there onto Purple Jesus. Forces him down. The Fortify, the Lamp, the Shield. And now his team's able to push the right side and take this high ground here.
And especially with that Molten Core as well. This space is going to be completely claimed. But Mike is in the back of the blade and finds 2. Does finally get taken down by Nash Browns, but already dealt the damage. Bob is invested here from Invictus, and they're gonna kind of just gonna get some trades here, but Viralian is just pumping Purple Jesus full of heals, as well as the Transcendence invested on top of it. Survives all that damage coming up from Fedora Master, and Purple Jesus just locks down the cart with that giant horse body, and it's not going anywhere, and a lot of ults invested there, and really no cart progress gain for the Imps.
Yeah, even though Mikey dies there, killing both supports, guarantees his team will win the fight over the long run, save a crazy play out of the Imps, but They're coming up on Nano here. They have Flux here. It's going to be difficult to live through that without the Transcendence from the last fight.
Ooh, a really nice opening 8-nade though from Meow is going to take down both tanks, but we do have Nathan with the Tactical Visor is going to find one. Chartron going to fall as well, and perhaps another one for Nathan. The final blows are not given, but the damage was dealt, and I mean, they know Trey's around here somewhere. They finally lock out the Hog. They're just going to chase him down. I mean, they're going to send the God Risa after him. He's got no shot.
Yeah, Trey goes down there last, but they do seem to be paying more attention to where he is, trying to avoid those hooks, and you know, no cost there for the Imps. They didn't use any ultimates, but they swapped to the Cassier off of that Ash pick. Maybe some sneaky flanks incoming.
They're still up there with that Gravitic Flux. It's going to be pretty big if they can land it, perhaps counter it, or not counter it, but amplify it with an anti-nade. Zeus has been hitting some fatties here, but a nice window from Viraldine's going to stop this rotation before it gets to the stairs. It takes a kind of in a weird spot. They can't protect their team as Charge and Photomaster have gone down, so 2 picks here in favor of the Pusheens as they're going to start to move in here. Ribro with a nice shield is going to basically not allow any of the tanks to do anything this fight, as the Pusheens just push in with a nice early aggressive ultimate there, looking like the King's Row, but opposite here.
Yeah, it's looking like the Imps don't really know how they want to do that attack. As I say that, Mikey hooked in and killed by Nash Brown.
I mean, that Flux goes in the backline as well, but they don't really get any picks off it. We do have Bark in the backline trying to kill Nathan with a long-distance whole hog. The American Sniper. It's not going to quite work out that way. Nigel's going to find Bark, and a lot also being thrown in here. We're probably going to see some comp swaps here, if I had to take a guess, because they're just going to chuck these in randomly, willy-nilly, and not getting anything out of them. Finally, a kill.
Yeah, so many ults invested there from the Imps. They're able to get a little bit of push here, but it's looking like the recontest out of the Pusheens should be good. Losing Nuttyar there, though, is not.
Yeah, losing Nuttier there had Transcendence, but Fedormaster had an excellently timed flank through that lower wall as Nuttier has the back turn robot. Mike is going in for the blade here. Gets Nash Browns, but won't get another one. Fedormaster is open at point B by himself like a can of tuna. This guy is going absolutely crazy on the Torbjorn right now and gets another final blow. Fedormaster showing off why he's known for his character.
It's funny watching him in the mid fight too. He'll be there in the back line on and off angle, just, you know, with his gun out, pew pew, taking people down one by one, and it feels like people aren't really giving him that much attention. I know Torb has small stature, but you know, his gun hits just as hard as anyone else's, so.
I mean, you also say in the mid-fight, he's pew-pewing his gun. If it's Fedormaster, you know, mid-fight, perhaps the hammer's coming out for a little bit of disrespect. Mikey's going to open up with an early pick there on Invictus, and the Flux comes out from Ribro, and they're going to get the picks, and they're going to stabilize here early in the defense, looking to take more fights than just one. On this attack, they are going very aggressive on this defense. They're looking to hold the spawn, it looks like, just not let him out, not give him any space to work with.
Yeah, this is going to be a very difficult spawn to get out of here, I think, for the Imps. They might have to make some swaps, or like here actually the favors being done by the Pusheens. They're pushing up themselves. Mikey pretty far up there, Nathan pretty far up there, backline pretty far up. It's possible that Bark here with a dive right now is able to get a pick, but he's taken out.
That headshot from Mikey as he's diving in puts an end to those thoughts, but Fedormaster's going to out-sniper the Widowmaker on the Torbjorn and comes in with the Molten Core in the backline. They're split out from their team, but the Transcendence is there from Nuttier and it's going to stabilize the team. And this Molten Core, they have no fear of the load of the points, and it looks like Trey's back on the point, gets that nano boost there, but so much time is being drained up the clock, they finally start to break this tank line down as comes in with that dive, has the Primal Rage and Best Sit to take down Nuttier, it looks like. Nuttier gets a kill, actually. Trey can't quite get it, but there's bouncing around. This is some really weird Primal interactions we're seeing here. Bark flying very weak in the back of a Mikey for Holiday, but the... Oh, that's just monkey sadness right there. The orb of...
Yeah.
Orb of Harmony is able to outdeal your damage. I mean, I know you know that feeling, Rory.
Yeah, I know it all too well, too sadly, and all those ultimates just to walk out of spawn here, just to get to the place where the actual fight of the point happens. Not looking good for the Imps.
Yeah, really not looking good, and Vic just makes that desperate swap over onto the Tracer. Might get a kill here, but the rock from Ribro keeps Ribro alive. Ribro is his own peel right there. Was 1 HP, but hit that rock just in time and forced to retreat here. And look at the Imps, they only have the Flux to work with. It has to be huge from Nash Browns here to potentially even get a cap on this point.
Yeah, Nuttier coming up on the trans, but doesn't quite have it for the Flux, and no one's taken out thanks to the lamp.
I mean, yeah, Bark's in the
many
back line
ults.
on the wrecking ball, but he's touching the cart. He's being there. He's existing, but he looks like it's a one-man army as Invictus returns on the point as well, but gets taken down from the God Risa. And I mean, there you have it. The God Risa comes out, and the Iceland Imps have lost their first map of the season right there, and potentially a reverse sweep begins for the Pusheens.
This was so critical to the Pusheens getting this map off. I mean, if they didn't, they'd be out. But also just having that mental damage, emotional damage. I don't know what they call it, but you know, hopefully this reverse sweep attitude starts coming out for the team. They're able to control Habana pretty decisively. Not even feeling that close of a spectator experience, but I think you know, we're gonna have to see where they're taking now from the Imps to decide how the next map's gonna go, and if they can maybe force this double shield play style, this counter dive style where they don't really care about the poke from the Imps. Like, are they able to master it? Are they able to use it effectively on maps other than Havana, the one where it's the best?
We will have to wait and see on the other side of this break. Do not go anywhere. 2CP's coming up. This is the Gopherwatch League.
These beats are the purest. Love it. These beats are the purest. Love it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to map 4. We are going to Volskaya Industries as our next map here. We have quite a close match now as the Pusheens take our map 3. So this could be a bit of momentum building here, but I go to Volskaya Industries, and the Torbjorn Ash, split composition here could be deadly for the Pusheens.
Yep, it certainly could, and I'm interested most in the Imps defense here. On the attack, it's a little harder to do the double shield, but if the Pusheens do it, good for them. But I think it's a really strong defense map. Obviously, having Invictus and Fedora on the Ash and Torb is going to be really difficult to deal with them on the huge high grounds here, and it's gonna put a huge burden on the Pusheens. But they're showing in spawn a little bit their playbook. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep running that double shield. Genji soldier, almost Overwatch 2 meta, except you have the 2 tanks.
And not the Winston.
And not the Winston.
So close, yes, so far to Overwatch 2 greatness. Make sure to tune in, by the way, on June 16th for Overwatch 2 news, the announcement of the announcement. Bound to come very exciting. But going in, we're going to have a divey kind of defense with a split DPS on the high grounds for the Imps. Can the double shield the Pusheens possibly find a pick to start off and punish these tanks as they get the rock onto War, but nobody's right there to follow up. They start to move in here, but Trey is plenty fine, plenty corporal, just cleaving them through as they rotate through these chokes here.
Yeah, my eyes on Trey for this. He's the one who can punish the Pusheens' mistakes. He's the one who can farm the most of that cleave when they're rotating. A little late on the engage here, but he's in nonetheless.
A little late on the engage, but that Ash Dynamite was there, and Mikey gets cut out of position there. Where was he? Looking to take down the tanks by himself. But it's a good opening pick there. Nathan will find the torture, but look at this cleave coming in from Trey. 70% and counting to his Primal Rage. Mikey's going to make that swap over onto the Hanzo. Put some more pressure onto this kind of split comp here. But you lose the D.Va here, so potentially winnable. This fight is still going on. The double shield is so sustainable. Trey is going to get that Primal Rage, but is going to get basically melted immediately and forced to retreat with that Discord Orb. And now he's going to find Meow, a huge play from the Zenyatta of the Pusheens coming up here.
Yeah, Trey able to do so much work, but that Discord forcing him out, and just living for so long. The double shield of the Pusheens is able to stabilize, get on point, get that supercharger out, and now the back foot is of the Imps.
Yeah, the Imps
here
are having a bit of an issue, but River flying very low there, and Invictus on this off angle, possibly gonna get there. Oh, but the body block from Purple Jesus to stop Bob from touching the point. That's a huge play. And now it's just a desperation move here. They're going to invest the Flux, but Meow used the... I mean, here comes the... And this is very winnable here for the Imps. It's not done just yet. Fedora Master gets that Nana boost and throws down... Now it's just a Fedora Master 1v2 on the point. Nuttier and Nathan is there. Nash Brown's forced to kind of retreat here as Mikey has also returned the Discord there and melted immediately as Nash Brown's mech. So despite the hero play from Fedora Master, almost turning it back in their favor, they're not quite going to get it. Bark is going to retreat here, not going to feed over that ult charge.
Yeah, that respawn timer, so punishing there, and Bark gets out here, but, just being able to live there is the value of double shield, making it as difficult as possible, even farming that primal, even getting that nano torb out. You got to get in there, you got to get those kills at the end of the day.
You also use the Bob, the Molten Core, and the Nano. What do you have for the defensive point B? This could be a big snowball if they get a pick opening here. And 4 ults. All right, there you go. Meow going down. So a huge amount of healing is gone. And the Dragon zones off the high ground. War is going to get that res, though. So here comes that. The Transcends as well from Nuttier. Bark's going to go down. No res available. War in the skies trying to do something with his Valkyrie here. As Nash Browns tries to hold the point down by themselves on this D.Va. But flying very weak with the Discord Orb help. Meow is back up at the point. Gets a nice anti onto the tanks. But War's going to go down. So this could potentially be another snowball, but Invictus almost has another Bob, as the picks are not coming here in favor of the Imps, and they don't get a single tick. Just so close, about 24.9% of my estimation, but the Imps stabilize, and the ults are building yet again in their favor.
Yeah, that pick on the Ana almost putting us in the snowball territory, but, a little slow to follow up on it, and, they spent the ultimates, but eventually got poked out. But they have a window here. Maybe they can take top right. Maybe they can, force the Imps off the high ground, or at least hide from them so that they can start taking the space here towards that point and start forcing some touches.
Anthony goes in onto Ribro, but really no problems for them there. The Nano Boost, though, on the Trey in the back line. Gonna find Varel, instead Windows puts down, but you can't really use it as a corpse. And yeah, here comes the play out there. A nice play from Trey. They only use the Nano Boost there, and they get the fight when a great dive from him to open that up.
I think I'd love to see a swap here on the back line, maybe, of the Pusheens, and we're seeing it. Nuttier on the Brig, able to deal with that Winston a little better, a little more survivable than the Zen, and we're seeing Mikey swap here as well. Hanzo, nope, just walking back to spawn just to check it out, I guess. And they're coming out on the cast though instead of the soldier, so
just taking in the map, I'm not gonna see this very often. What's on over here? Let's find some cool Easter eggs. Mikey is Easter egg hunting a little bit early here, but I mean, we have the Dragons 50% and counting with the Superchargers down, and Nash Browns lose that mech almost instantly. All that ults being chucked out here, the Bob, the Primal Rage, and the Bomb, but looks like it's going to be just enough there. 3 ults and 3 picks. Bark getting another kill with the Primal Rage. And yeah, Ribro's going to go off the map. So, I mean, you Supercharger, you trade for 3 ults, so not the worst case scenario. 2 minutes and counting down, though, as your time bank starts to dwindle.
Yep, this is the 2 CP effect, though. Even though they're coming in with 2 ultimates here, the question is, will that be enough? Can they execute it cleanly enough to both get the kills and take the space to be able to put the point pressure on in the face of this molten core from Fedora Master? And, this is a tough map, but I think with the hog swap here, maybe they can get a free pick and snowball off of that. I think that's what they might be hoping for.
And there's your free pick right there. They're going to take down the Winston, cut a little bit out of position, and they now know where the Ana is as well. So much space there, the hook from Purple Jesus, but they don't kill him, and they kill Purple Jesus instead. A great play out from Nash Bros. The peel was immaculate for their Ana, and Nash Bros finds 2 kills on top of the Molten Core. So, I mean, you use the Dragons there too out from Mikey and the Flux, so no ults for the attackers, and the ults building for the defense. And this worst case scenario.
Yeah, now we're in a bit of desperation territory. They're going to have to farm up those ultimates and get in on the point in this next fight, pretty much. These fights go so long, the spawn's so far away, not enough to reset for 2, and really all they have is a window and high noon. They have to execute. They make some swaps here to the dive tanks and the Genji, maybe just hoping to go in hard, hoping that they can get that dive in on Invictus, but he's taken out by Nathan.
And they're going to stop the res here, perhaps. Yes, they do. Now, Wark on a composition. They're going to lose both of them. And the flash from the flank here from Nathan is going to potentially put some work down. A great immortality field just in time to save Nathan. Bark falling weak here, forced to retreat. But Meow will find Mikey, so there you go. The start is there for this defense to potentially stabilize. Proteus goes in the backline looking for a dive, but they're going to find Nuttier too. So despite the early picks coming out here for the Imps, or for the Pusheens, the Imps are coming up back here with the Mob and the Primal from Trey. And yeah, this, I don't know how they're clutching this up with the Imps. They're built different today.
They certainly are, and just how do you push and hold a point into Torbolt? How do you push and hold a point into Bob? These things that's just fully zone you and stop all of the momentum that you have, even coming off of 2 picks cleanly, just like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's great from the Imps. They lose their Ashe and Mercy at the beginning of the fight and are able to just live. They give no space. That kind of solo dive from Purple Jesus doing a bit of no figures for the team as he falls early there. Meow gets a nano boost on a Trey as well. Keeps that monkey in the fight. So just great all-around team play from the Imps there to keep that defense alive after going down too. We'll have to see if we can get a response out from the Pusheens, but it's going to be kind of rough to possibly do a full hold on A or even hold that 1 tick on B.
Yep, and we're not quite seeing Mikey get away with as much for free as we'd hope on the Genji, between that Torb turret, and I think they're just doing a pretty good job of focusing him when he's in here too. We saw him go down to Meow, I believe, in that last fight, and it looks like they're going to go for a bit of a pokey defense here. Mikey on the Ashe, they have the Mercy, they have Cass, no more double shield. Hog is my best friend. Purple Jesus can't do more.
Purple Jesus has already, I can confirm Purple Jesus has left comms and has muted his mic. He is currently not being able to do more. He's going to pop off on this game here, just trying to shut down this dive. Well, I mean, we'll just see if the Ashe and Torb get more as success on the attack, so it could be a bit interesting. We want to see a swap out from either Invictus or Fedora Master. But Mikey's going to go with that Ashe right back in Invictus trying to shut this down. I mean, will the Peach Parts hit scan be enough to deal with the Kato Warlord? We'll have to wait and see. But here comes the dive con against up in main.
Yep, the Kato genes are strong. This is definitely the 1v1 that I'm going to be keeping an eye on, and tanks for Imps are able to get in more or less for free, but a hook coming from Purple Jesus here just to chunk out Nash Browns just a little bit.
I mean, they're just playing this slow. They're waiting for Purple Jesus to get perhaps a hook, but a nice dive comes out from Trey to separate the tanks from their team. The top field is forced to be invested, so they can't have that for this fight here. The tank's falling very weak here. Ribro, half HP, forced to kind of play inside this little room. That's not where you want to be, but Purge is going to find Nash Browns, so a good start. And Mikey has cut up Fedora Master, caught him in 4K Ultra HD. However, Fedora Master's still alive. That the headshot is quite there. Unfortunate. I thought he had that one, and Mikey's going to clear this fight.
Yeah, excellent dive from the front line of the Imps, trying to separate those two tanks that don't really have any mobility from their team, but they're able to get out, and just slowly the team just gets more poken and punishes Nash Browns, who continued to go in on those tanks when the target focus had sort of swapped at that point, and it just makes it very difficult when you don't have the D.Va there to keep your team alive.
And yeah,
those Ashe dynamites.
You just look, you have 5 ults here for the defense, but a nice opening start there as Invictus finds Mikey. They're going to go for the res, they are going to get off, but Moneyr just finds the Nano Monkey. The Nano Primal's in the back line, is going to find Mikey again. So with Mikey down, but Mikey did invest the Bob, so still a 6v6, however, but Bark is going to get Nuttier off the points. The Primal mechanics are there. Purple Jesus has the whole hog, and the Gravitic Flux is invested, but no picks, but Nathan again with the clutch, finds 2. But Rubble's going to fall as the Invictus has the Bob there. War invests that Valkyrie to keep the team alive here. Varel then tries to 1v1. The Bob is not quite going to work out. And despite the heroics from Nathan, we're going to see a cap on A. And, I mean, they might be going for a recontest here. Pro just come back on the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, definitely possible for this recontest, but I don't think it's going to be that successful having only Mikey and Purple Jesus here. Mikey already taken out.
Having only Michael there. Very unfortunate for... Yeah, his full gamer tag, actually, in Jumpman is Michael. You check his birth certificate, his ballot creation date, but I don't really know about that recontest. Can I just feed over that Wrecking Ball charge? And now 4 minutes 20 seconds to take 1 tick here for the Imps. And they have the Molten Core, they have the bomb, they have the tools to do it right now. The hook, though, from Purple Jesus is going to take down Nash Browns, or put him very weak, forced to retreat. But here comes the Molten Core from Fedora Master, but I think he got flashed almost immediately while using it, so that ult's gone. But, you got 4 minutes to work with here. You're not really concerned about losing 1 ult if you're the Imps.
Yeah, it was a fun play. You love to see it, jump across that gap. You drop down the turret, start pouring out the Molten Core, on the back line. No one's really expecting it, but unfortunately did not work out there. And the Pusheens are looking to charge up some ultimates here. They're going to need them for this defense as the Nano Monkey comes in straight into the back line.
And here comes again another Primal Rage from Trey as they knock Nuttier into the path of the bomb. This tank line of the Imps looking strong this fight. As here comes a Desperation Flux from Ribro, but Ribro finds so weak. The slam is there. They find Fedora Master. Will it be enough as Purple Jesus has the whole hog on the point? He's hogging, but it's not going to be nearly enough as the Bob is on the point as well. Nuttier can't touch. That's a 3-1 victory for the Imps.
That was certainly a difficult map for the Pusheens. They played it well, but at the end of the day, 2CP always comes down to the ultimates on that second point once the first point's out of the way. And, they came close to getting the first hold, but excellent gameplay coming out of the Imps here, snowballing their advantage when they can, and really a lot of proactivity on their front line, trying to create that space and opportunity for Fedora Master and Invictus to get in there and get the work done.
And now we have the inevitable position of selecting a match MVP. You know what? Since you're the special guest of honor today, kind of filling in on such short notice, I'll just let you go ahead and just make the decision for both of us, Rory. You're the big brain guy around here.
What an honor! What an absolute honor! I think I'm going to have to give it this time to Bark or to Trey. Just so much decisive gameplay as a main tank. Main tank recognizing main tank. Maybe I'm biased, but I was really impressed what I saw out of him on the Winston and on the Reinhardt and on the Hog. Just getting in there, We saw on Kings Row very decisive rotations and very decisive, maybe a little bit of memeing pinning in, but also just like being there and being that frontline engagement tool when it mattered and helping those fights unfold the way they did, creating a lot of space for his DPS and backline to be able to live and get a lot of value too. And they all played very well as well. But I think that having that spearhead just makes the game so much easier for you, so much more comfy.
I'd have to agree. Even though I said make the decision for me, that was gonna be my decision anyway. So glad we're in cahoots here. So we're gonna go ahead and give it to Trey. I don't know if we can get him in here for a quick interview. He has access to captain or caster's chat, so I don't know if you want to invite him in real quick. We can ask him a couple questions about the match today, and then we'll send you guys on your way. There are other games up right now, I believe. I don't know what the scores are for those. I wonder if perhaps I can quickly open them and give an update. The Emma Skies are playing right now. They just won Watchpoint Gibraltar, so I'm not sure what the score line is because they're against the Dorado Ducks, so that should be a really good game. Ducks and Skies, but
and we're joined by Trey.
Hello.
There he is. Welcome. Congratulations on the victory. You got to be on stream a couple days in a row here. You got to cast yesterday, but might as well come in for an MVP interview as well.
Yeah, might as well. Everyone just loves me so much. How it is.
Yeah. Okay. Let's drop the ego. Let's focus on the grind. Speaking of the grind, the tank gameplay is coming out looking immaculate today. So I guess we gotta start off with, was there just a feeling today that the tank was just looking so good where somebody were able to exploit, or was it just like good team play? What led to your success today, do you think?
So it was entirely based off that, Ilios Runes comp?
Correct.
We ran ball 6-man.
Yeah.
And it's just such a good comp, it breaks people's mental. That single-handedly won us the series right there.
I mean, I knew you said you were cooking something up in the laboratory, so...
Yeah. I was gonna say I try to get us to run Shanghai comp. I try to make us run Winston, Sigma, Ashe, Echo, Mercy, Zenyatta on Volskaya, but my team nixed that, so yeah.
So what you're saying is your team is quite rebellious, and this is...
they don't listen to a single thing I say.
It's such a sad state of existence. Captain Trey has fallen so low. I'm glad they gave you MVP. Hope it makes you feel better, man. I mean, getting bullied in your team chats all day.
I shed a couple tears. Yeah, I know.
What you got, RohR? Captain or coach extraordinaire / main tank player / Winston enjoyer?
Fresh DPS player now. Well, besides the mutiny on the Imps, what did you think? What did your teamwork sort of look like during that match? We were watching your Kings Row gameplay, looking at some of those freaky rotations, watching some of those dives on Volskaya. Like, what were the comps sort of like? Are you just calling like what plays are gonna go, or people saying, hey, can we do this, or can you help me with that, or what's going on?
I'm tending to call most engages, I'd say. Like, when we're diving, I call a decent amount of stuff. Victus does a lot of target calling. Fedora calls some rotations. Everyone kind of adds in a little bit, which is, perfect. And then, except on Havana, we were just upset that they're playing double shield. But besides that, yeah. Because we're like, we can't play Zenyatta. We lose.
Well, I guess, RohR, you're the guest of honor. So you want to ask El Clasico for us?
Okay, Trey, here's the hardest question. The hardest question passed down since the beginning of time. If you were not the MVP, but you had to choose the MVP from your team, who would it be?
Well, I was going to just make a joke, but I'm going to hold off on that joke. And I'm going to instead say, I think it's got to be, I think it's got to be the Gremlin, the Torbjorn guy. He's the mascot of our team. He put in some work on the Torbjorn, the flank turrets. On Kings Row, him and Invictus made a nutty hold on our defense, where it's just the two of them live. They stalled, got picks. And then, Fedora got a couple there, and we won the fight, which, made that map a lot easier to win with a full hold. So it's got to go to Fedora.
Definitely.
Couldn't agree more. Well, anyway, thank you so much for joining us, Captain Trey. We'll let you go back to your team to celebrate the victory. Congratulations on the 2-0 start, and hopefully it continues for you guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, streams. That's gonna be it for us here today at the Gopherwatch League. I've been joined by RohR, of course, the impromptu casting. So thank you very much for joining me today. I know it wasn't in your nightly plans, but hopefully you had a good time, my guy, and hopefully you enjoyed the game.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so that's going to be all of us for the Gopherwatch League this week. Make sure to check out our other streams right now. We have a couple POVs. You can check the announcements chat as well as general to get those and see the other games going on right now. The Draw Ducks and Emma Skies is my recommendation. So check out Fancy3_OW on Twitch. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great